Hello and welcome back to another week of Open Mic Night. So glad you guys made it back for another week. This week we're going to talk about a lot of fun things, like, are hotel desk employees really going to lose their job? And what's going on at EA Sports for you video game players out there? All this and more on Open Mic Night. Stick around. All right, so like I said, welcome back to another week of Open Mic Night. So glad you guys made it back. This is my weekly live tech show. This is a product of WiegerTech.com, W-I-E-G-E-R, tech.com. Hope you guys have enjoyed the past few weeks of the show. And this week, I want to again welcome back all the listeners on WLMN Radio. I know there's actually quite a few of you. I was just talking to the owner of WLMN Radio before, and so I just want to welcome you guys again. So all of you guys in Grafton, West Virginia, welcome aboard. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Although last week, I welcomed you guys, and I said, tweet at me, leave me some comments or emails, and I did not have a single email or tweet from one of you listeners. So jump out there and be the first. Tweet at me. I'll put up my Twitter here. My Twitter is at WiegerTech. Again, that's W-I-E-G-E-R tech.com. Email is also mike@WiegerTech.com. And then also you can always access everything you guys need over on my website, and that is simply www.WiegerTech.com. So welcome to you guys. Welcome to you new listeners. So you know how I usually start out the show with a personal update, things that are going on in my life, and actually I'm going to move that to the end of the show because it's honestly a shameless plug. There's a lot of new changes going on at WiegerTech, and I want to tell you guys about them, but I'm going to save that for later in the show. This week, we're going to jump right into the news. And so the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is, like I said, so I was talking with Roger. He's the owner over at WLMN Radio, and he informed me, I was talking to him literally just about an hour and a half ago, he informed me that Justin.tv is no longer. It is shut down. For those of you guys who don't know, Justin.tv is a streaming service website. So it allowed you to stream yourself live onto the internet, just like I am doing right now. The funny thing is, back about last November, I was trying to decide how I was going to get myself onto the internet, onto a live stream, and I strongly considered Justin.tv. And I decided instead to go with YouTube simply because I was already on YouTube. YouTube takes this live stream and turns it into a video that you guys can watch later. And it just fit well with what I already do. But the big story is that Justin.tv is shut down, and it kind of was unexpected. It kind of just happened. So if you go to Justin.tv right now, this is the website that you get. Pretty much telling you that everything is shut down, that there's nothing left. Now, if you do watch that video that is on the screen, it is a very heartwarming video, I must say. It is a video of how Justin TV got started. Started with one guy, the guys that thought it'd be funny, to have one guy stream his life. And it turned into more channels, and more people got into it. And it ended up being this live platform that everyone went to stream their content. But again, it is shut down. We don't really know why, but we do know that Justin.tv kind of started Twitch. Now, for those of you guys who know what Twitch is the same sort of thing, live streaming, but strictly for video games. So if you stream yourself playing a video game, which has become extremely popular these days, Twitch is the industry leader in how you stream yourself. So Justin TV they started Twitch a while ago, and Twitch was actually just bought out by YouTube. And so we're wondering if maybe after this whole acquisition, they didn't want to focus anymore on Justin.tv. Maybe they were in financial trouble. We're not really sure. So hopefully next week I will have more information for you guys. Actually, on that page, the end date says, today. So, it just happened today. Hopefully there will be more news next week that I can kind of give you guys an update on why Justin.tv is closed down. But for you guys who are Justin.tv users, it did say that the pro account people, the people who apparently paid to use Justin.tv, they did get an email informing them about this. Now, some accounts can be switched over to Twitch, some of them cannot. But the sad thing is the people that were on Twitch did lose all of their content. All of that content is gone. It is erased. There's no way of getting it back, at least as far as I have seen. And so my heart kind of goes out to you guys who are on Justin.tv. If that was your main streaming platform, and especially if it was your only streaming platform, I know that I'm really bad at backing up my videos that I put out onto YouTube, especially now that they're live streamed. I almost don't even download the file. And I know if all that content went away from me, it'd be extremely sad. So my heart goes out to you guys. Again, if you guys have any comments on this, if you guys were a pro user of Justin.tv, let me know. Send me some emails. Let me know what their correspondence with you guys was. I would be very interested to hear how they went about this, how they went about closing down, if you guys had any warning at all. Again, I am not a Justin.tv user, so for me, I was not affected, so I had no communication back and forth with them. So that is it for the Justin.tv news, but the next story is one that I kind of teased about last week, and it is I'm going to give you guys kind of a quick update on where we are at with the new iPhone. The iPhone 6 is one of the most anticipated iPhones yet. I told you guys last week, Apple is ramping up production on this phone more than they have on any past iPhone. They have more phones in production, and they are ready for this launch, and they are excited about it. And I think it's because we usually see this every 2 iPhone cycles. And what I mean by that is the iPhone 5 was 2 years ago. We had the 5S come out last year, and now we're up for the 6. And usually the S version of the iPhone is usually a small upgrade. It looks the same, functions the same. Maybe it has a faster chip. Like in the 5S, what we saw was the fingerprint technology where you can log into your phone with your fingerprint. So that was the new kind of gadget, I guess you would get, the new upgrade you would get if you got the 5S. But what happens is now that we're on the 6, people really expect an entirely new design change and a lot of new features. And the iPhone has been picking up in popularity. Sales are fantastic for the iPhone. And so for this iPhone 6, they're anticipating a lot of people who have maybe held out, kind of like me. I have the iPhone 5 and I did not upgrade to the 5S. Although I'm a huge Apple fanboy, I usually try and snag those up. I skipped the iPhone 5S. I didn't really see the need for the upgrades that they applied, but I am definitely excited about the iPhone 6, hoping to be able to get one this year simply because, like I said, it's going to look all different, a lot of new features and things like that. Well, we found out today, Recode actually was the site that I saw. They all started to pick it up as the day went on, but Recode is where I first saw that the Apple iPhone announcement is scheduled for September 9th. So September 9th, we are going to hear all about the new iPhone. Apple will have their big announcement. No details yet on if they're going to live stream the event or not. I'm guessing they will. They've kind of been in the habit of that. So I'm guessing we'll have a live stream of that event. If I'm available, you guys know that usually, if I'm not in class or anything like that, or if I'm not working, I will try and do a live stream, a live coverage of their live stream. So if you guys watched me, I would kind of show what's going on in the show and then give you guys some commentary on it. But I will for sure definitely be doing a review on the product. I will be doing a recap of whatever they announce for you guys so you guys can get kind of a consolidated view of what went on at the announcement. But to give you guys an update on where we're at with iPhone 6 rumors, we're starting to come down to just a few kind of solid rumors. So I'm not going to say things that are for sure because nothing's for sure yet, and Apple is known to just surprise us all. But some of the rumors that are starting to gain a lot of steam and things that I've talked about in the past are really, there's only 2, and that's the screen sizes, what the screen's made out of, I guess that's 1, and then 2 being the new A8 chip. And so we're going to see a faster A8 chip, and that's going to be, faster, power this bigger phone, because the second rumor is the screen. But back to the chip, it's going to be a faster chip, going to be able to handle maybe a larger screen size, also just a lot faster in general. We've seen every single year, Apple tends to put a new upgrade to their chipset, makes things like games, graphics, and all that stuff just work a lot better on the phone. So just an overall performance improvement with the A8 chip. But with the screen sizes, the thing that we're starting to see is that there is going to be a 5.5-inch phone as well as a 4.7-inch phone. Now, again, this is just solid rumor, not fact. So when they have the announcement and there's no such thing as a 5.5-inch phone, don't get mad at me. But this rumor is starting to look really good. We're seeing maybe some production leaks from over in China. We're starting to see things like that would lead us to believe that there's going to be a 5.5 and a 4.7-inch screen. Now, along with this is obviously the rumor that has been going around forever that Apple is going to put an all sapphire glass screen on the iPhone. Now, this rumor is pretty much confirmed. At least on one of the iPhones that they announced on September 9th is going to have a sapphire screen. They created a whole entire sapphire plant to produce sapphire. And before in the iPhone, the only thing that was made out of sapphire was the lens or the cover that's behind the camera on the back of your iPhone 5S, and also on the fingerprint reader. That's the only place that sapphire was before, so we're guessing that they're going to have an all sapphire display. Now, where this rumor kind of gets a little iffy is on which screen size will the sapphire be. Will both screens be made completely of sapphire? Will just the 5.5, the larger screen, be made out of it? Well, the rumor also gets fuzzy because we're starting to see that they might be having production problems with the sapphire glass screen. We might be starting to see that Apple might not be able to make as many sapphire displays as they are wanting. If you remember, I told you that Apple is ramping up production for this launch, and they need a lot of units. They need to ship out a ton of units on release day of this iPhone. So if they're running short on these sapphire displays, are they not going to have the sapphire display in the smaller screen? Are they going to maybe have a premium product in the 5.5-inch iPhone, and that's going to be made of sapphire glass and have a bunch of extra features? I don't think so. At least my point on this whole thing is that, yes, I do believe we're going to have a 5.5-inch screen. I also believe we're going to have a 4.7-inch screen. I think the only difference is going to be the size. I think both phones are going to have the same features, the same functionality. Again, this is all just my speculation, but the way I see it is that there's no really reason for them to distinguish between the 4.7 and the 5.5-inch screen. Now, the only reason they would do that is if they did something like they did last year. Last year, they had the 5S and the 5C. 5S being their premier top-of-the-line iPhone, 5C being a cheaper phone, a plastic back, things like that, but both phones were functionally close to the same. The 5S had maybe a faster chip and stuff like that, but otherwise they were the same. But for those reasons, I still don't see why Apple would do anything different with the 4.7 and the 5.5-inch screens. I think they will be very, very similar. So that is kind of the update on the iPhone. We're syncing two different screen sizes, an upgrade to the chipset, but beyond that, Apple is so tight-lipped on all of their new features that I think we're just going to have to wait until September 9th. Now, of course, if any new rumors come out in the next few weeks that I think are worth it, that I think are big enough to talk about, I'll let you guys know. We have a few weeks until that September 9th announcement, so we have a few shows in between here and there that I can give you guys some updates if we need to on the iPhone. But again, just be watching for that on September 9th. It's going to be a pretty big announcement, but I am very excited for it. Expect prices to be about the same as they usually do, somewhere between the $399, $299, $199 price range, depending on the size of hard drive you get and things like that. So before I move on, I want to talk to you guys about DollarShaveClub.com/WiegerTech. What is Dollar Shave Club? DollarShaveClub.com offers you all of your shaving needs for a fraction of the price. They are simply fantastic. And what they do is they ship them right to your door. So instead of heading off to the store and paying crazy money for, shaving technology that you guys don't even need, head on over to DollarShaveClub.com/WiegerTech and check out what they have. So what do I use? Let's take a look here. I actually have it right over here. I use what's called the 4X blade. So it's a solid metal handle, 4 blades, and simply fantastic. I think this is better than some of the high-end blades that you will find in the store, and they're a fraction of the price. So here are the blade options right here for you. So this one that you guys are looking at that I use, $6 a month. Yeah, $6 a month, not $20 like I would if I went to, your, retail store and bought those blades. No, $6 a month. Fantastic. But so what they do, before I talked about that, is they ship it to you in this nice little box here. So every month you'll get this box delivered right to your door. Yeah, for $6 a month. They'll ship it to you too. It'll show up right to your door. You don't even need to get in your car. But if you guys want to go further than that, Dollar Shave Club offers an entire line of shaving products, not just the blades. And so if you guys want, check out the Dr. Carver's Shave Butter. It is the best shaving cream I have ever used. It's non-irritating, it's great for sensitive skin, and doesn't leave you with those annoying razor bumps. And then after you shave, definitely use the Dr. Carver's Post-Shave Lotion. Again, it's non-sticky, it's not greasy, it's not that bad kind of lotion. Soothing, hydrating. I actually look forward to shaving the next day just so I can use the lotion. And again, one step further, if you guys want to check out their One Wipe Charlies, they're for when you guys are in the restroom. They keep you fresh and clean, and they are amazing. If you guys want to check them out, head on over to DollarShaveClub.com/WiegerTech. Give them a shot. I know you'll love them. I wouldn't promote anything to you guys that I didn't use in my everyday life. I've been a DollarShaveClub.com subscriber now for about 2 years. I won't go back. I will never buy a razor from a store again. There's a lot of companies out there doing this. DollarShaveClub.com/WiegerTech does the best. So that's DollarShaveClub.com. Give them a try today. So the next story I wanted to move on and talk to you guys about is the one that was in the title, the one I teased you guys about. And it is that, will the hotel front desk employees lose their job? Now, the story that spawned me to, kind of put that title out there and grab your guys' attention was that Hilton is going to be kind of coming out with a brand new application for your mobile device, for your iPhone, for your Android phone, or for whatever. And what it does is it allows you to check in without ever stopping at the front desk. So imagine you are showing up to your favorite Hilton, you are traveling, and you never have to wait in that super long line. It's 6 o'clock at night, you just flew in, all you want to do is lay down in your bed and take a nap, and now you got to wait for 12 people in front of you to check in. Well, Hilton is trying to eliminate that, and that is with their app. So with their app, you guys will be able to check into your room, even pick your room, which one you want, from a mobile application. And the best part about this is, I know some of you guys have caught on, you're like, well, wait, I still have to stop and get my key. No. So the app, what it does is actually going to act as your room key. Now, we don't know the technology behind this yet. Is it going to be iBeacon? Is it going to be Bluetooth? Is it going to be NFC? Anything like that? But we do know that your phone is going to be able to be your key to your room. I'm guessing as you get close to your room through the app, you'll have an unlock feature. I'm guessing this will be through Bluetooth because NFC isn't in the iPhone, and I doubt Hilton would go with anything that the iPhone couldn't have because it's such a large market, especially in the United States where they're testing this. So I'm guessing it's going to be Bluetooth, and your phone is going to be able to unlock your door for you. So this is going to be fantastic. You're going to be able to show up to your hotel, check in, walk straight up to your room, and even use your phone to unlock the door, get in, and take the nap that you want. I'm really excited about this. I don't know. I heard about this story, and it was actually the story that I was most excited about. I think it's pretty cool. I don't even travel that often, but I'm excited about it. So Hilton is going to be starting to roll this out later this year, and they're going to be rolling out the check-in process first. So the app will come out, and you'll be able to check in and stuff like that before you even get there, and they'll probably have a system where you can pick up your key because it's going to be a little bit later, probably into 2015, before they start getting the doors that can unlock from your phone. If you guys can imagine, this means that they have to go in and totally redo every single lock on their door with new technology. So first of all, it's going to be expensive, and it's also going to take a lot of time. So it's going to be a slow rollout, but another technology that I am excited to use, another technology that we see maybe not right now, but if we give it a year, 2 years, 3 years, it's going to be a technology that really helps us out, saves us time. So obviously the joke was that the hotel front desk employees are going to lose their job. No, they won't. But they are maybe going to be focusing on other tasks because now if they don't have to check in as many guests, they can still, people will still obviously have the original option to check in, but maybe they can focus on some other aspects of service for the hotel. So that was a fun story. I really liked reading that, and I always like reading about the new latest and greatest technology, especially when it involves mobile. Anything I can do with my phone, I love, because more and more I am not around my computer, and all I have is maybe my phone or my iPad or something like that, and I want to be able to do everything from this. I want this to replace my computer someday, but then I wouldn't be able to do this for you guys. I wouldn't be able to have a live show. So the next story is actually about EA Sports. This is for you gamers out there, and especially for you Xbox One gamers. I know I'm still back in the Stone Age with my Xbox 360, but this story actually has me wishing I was an Xbox One user. So if you are an Xbox One user, and especially if you like playing all the sports games from EA, this might be a fun story for you. So what they're doing is that they're releasing a new service called EA Access. And what this is, it's for $5 a month, you are going to have access to their entire game library. Meaning so when a new game comes out, for all of us who love the sports games like I do, every year you want the new one, but it's $60 for a brand new game, sometimes even more. And, paying $60 every year and if I want NCAA football and I want NFL and I want FIFA, that really adds up, and obviously not all of us buy it. Well, I think EA kind of got the hint that we aren't buying the new version every year, especially of all their different titles. And so if we just simply pay them $5 a month, that's going to save us a lot of money. So for those of us who actually use a lot of their sports games and games like Battlefield, they have games like that, it's going to save us a lot of money, but then they're going to be able to make up that money as well. So like I said, this originally is only for Xbox One. They just announced it. There's going to be a beta release, kind of an early access thing coming later this year, and they're only going to have you're only going to have access to a few titles if you get on that beta. But the idea is that in the future, hopefully next year, it'll be all their titles available for $5 a month. So for you gamers out there, I think this is pretty exciting. The one question is, why are they not doing this on the PlayStation 4? I'm not sure, especially with what I've been hearing. The PlayStation 4 is just as great as the Xbox One. I was an avid Xbox user, but I think with the PS4, PlayStation really knocked it out of the park. And so you've got people on both sides. And so I was kind of wondering why EA chose Xbox over PlayStation. I'm sure we'll see more about that as the story unfolds, because like I said, it has not even released yet. It is coming out later this year. So that is the news segment for today, all of the external news, but I also have some internal news. And so this is kind of the personal update / internal news segment for you guys. And what it is that WiegerTech is expanding, and I have created kind of a new area of WiegerTech, and it's called WiegerTech Solutions. And so if you guys head out to my website and you go to WiegerTech.com/solutions, you will see a brand new page here. And what I'm doing is kind of custom personal and small business IT solutions. So what does that mean? Well, what it means is that I go out, and when you start out a company and you don't want to deal with any of the technology, you want professional email, you want a professional website, you want things like voice, phones in your place, I can do that for you. And so my past week has been consumed. I've been having my first few clients here really working through making this new sector, WiegerTech, functional and make sure I have speedy service. So what I built this company on, what I built this sector on, like what I built WiegerTech Solutions on, I offer fast service and I don't use cookie cutter solutions. What I saw when I looked into this industry is that so many people want to just throw their system on you and they say, use this, it's awesome. That's great. But that system probably only works for a certain percentage of people. So what I specialize in, what I do is I look at the individual company, or I look at the individual. Some people want this for their home, podcast service like me, like WiegerTech, someone who's just a one-man show, and sometimes they want this. But for the small business, what I really looked into is, what does this business do? What are their needs? What do they need? Do they need small things? Do they need big things? What do they need? And I custom fit a solution for that company. And so I don't just throw a big service on there that's expensive, but it's the best just simply because it's the best. That might not be the best for you. And so enough about WiegerTech Solutions. If you guys want more information, head on over to that website. Again, go to WiegerTech.com/solutions. And if you guys even know anyone who's maybe starting a company or needs professional email, website, things like that, have them give me a shout. On that website, on that page, there's a contact form. You can just fill out the form and it sends it straight to me. Or you guys can always email me, mike@WiegerTech.com, and I'd be happy to work with you guys. I offer free consultations, and then beyond that, we can work out pricing and things like that, but I will beat the price of all of the big tech guys in your city, I promise you. Most of the stuff I can do remotely. Sometimes I have to come and make a visit, but usually most of the work I can do remotely, and I look forward to working with any of you guys that want to contact me about that. But that's my personal life. That's what's going on there. That's what's going on the total other side, but you guys don't care about that. You guys want to know what's happening with WiegerTech Productions. And so this is the production side. This is where I give you guys the open mic night. All right, so I do have a pick of the week. And my pick of the week is an app that I just picked up, and you guys might have noticed me using it if you follow me on social media. And so I'm going to pull it up here, and I'm going to, just so I can remember all the different features that I use about it. And it's called EveryPost. Now, I forgot to check into if this is on Android, but if you are on the iPhone, and if you ever have the need, if you have ever opened up Facebook, posted a status or a picture or something, and then opened up Twitter, done the same thing, opened up Google+, and if you are posting the same thing to multiple social media sites at the same time, this app will save your life. I was, doing announcements about my show or about WiegerTech Solutions, trying to get the word out using all my social media. And I was like, man, there has got to be an app out there that will do this all in one step. And there is, and it's EveryPost. So there will be a link down below. It's not in there yet, but there will be a link down below in the description on the YouTube video and on WiegerTech.com with the link to the app in it. But what it is pretty much is it gives you a blank slate to type in. You can add in YouTube videos, photos, whatever you want. And when you first open the app, you set up all of your social media accounts. So for me, I use Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Those are the three that I use. And then as you post, as you type and stuff like that, all you do is tap the social medias that you want to go to. So up at the top, there's some icons here for Facebook, Twitter, Google+. I tap which ones I want to go to, and I slide the button, and it simply goes, and it posts. But the one cool feature about this app that kind of set it apart from the others was that there is a scheduling feature. So if I want to, right before I do this show is a great example, I get really busy, and I'm turning on all the different, I'm turning on the camera and the mixer, and I'm getting all the website stuff set up, so I don't have time to send out a post about the show. Well, what I do is about, an hour or 2 hours before the show, I type in the post I want, and I schedule it to go out at a certain time. So I schedule it to go out maybe 5 minutes before the show starts. So there are just a ton of features with this app that I think you guys will love if you guys are active on social media. So that is my pick of the week for you. Again, it is every post, and that is my pick. The one thing I wanted to remind you guys about, and I want to remind you because I started to notice there's more and more subscribers, is that this podcast, this show that you guys are watching right now, is available in podcast form. And so if you guys have your favorite podcast app, just search WiegerTech, and it's all one word. WiegerTech is one word, or Open Mic Night, and it's MIKE, not MIC. And you guys can find this show in an audio version. And to be honest with you guys, that's how I consume all of my content. That's how I get all this news for you guys, is I listen to podcasts. And I listen to them in my car while I'm driving. I put them on the speakers while I'm cleaning my apartment, things like that. And so there is a link on WiegerTech.com, so WIEGER tech.com. And there's a link on the left that says subscribe in iTunes. So if you guys use iTunes, or if you guys are on mobile and you're on the iPhone or iPad and you use the podcast app, click that link. It'll take you right there, and you guys can subscribe. The other thing I wanted to mention was I talk a lot about WLMN Radio, and I welcome the users, this week again, but check them out at WLMNradio.com. Great website, great streaming radio. They have a lot of content. They're starting to get a lot of new tech shows. And the one show that I actually found was The Tech Buzz. And so they do a lot of different shows on The Tech Buzz. It's a whole network. And so it's a great way to discover new, great technology content. So check them out. And again, for you listeners in Grafton, West Virginia, or if you're just watching WLMN Radio, tweet at me or email me. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from these new users. I want to hear what you guys think of the show. I'm sure you guys have suggestions. I'm always watching this show and I was like, man, if he just did that different, or if he added in a segment like this, it would be way more valuable to me. And so I know you guys have those suggestions, so send them on over to me. And that doesn't just apply to the new users. It applies to you guys that have been listening for a while. And the final thing I want to talk to you guys about is Patreon. So Patreon is a website it's pretty much a platform that gives you guys the ability to give back to the content creators like me, who are the small content creators, the people who can't go out and get the big advertisers. And so it gives you guys the ability to give, maybe even just $1 a month. And that helps support things, like the new equipment I use for each show, or running my website, things like that. I've had a goal for the past few weeks, and that is to get to $20 a month, just simply $20 a month on Patreon from however many people that takes. And that simply covers my website costs. So it costs me $20 a month to have my website up and on the internet. So that's one of my costs here I have at WiegerTech. And so that is my goal on Patreon, and I hope you guys can help out. And thank you to my 2 patrons out there right now. You guys are fantastic. And just so you guys know, if you do become a patron, you get a special email address that you can access and send to me, and I will respond to you within the hour. So there's a special email address that comes to my phone, and I see it, and I will respond to you within the hour, but that is exclusively for my patrons. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Open Mic Night. Stay tuned for next week. There's going to be a lot of cool changes coming next week. I've been talking to the owner of WLMN Radio. We're going to start adding in some really cool stuff. He's got a lot of good suggestions for me. And also, we are going to put in a chat. So next week, the link to this show actually will be to my personal website. And so if you're watching on YouTube, that's fantastic. You can still watch there. But I invite you guys next week, if you guys want to join the chat. So for those of you guys who are watching live, there'll be a chat room. And you guys can actually ask me questions. I'll have it open. You guys can't see, but I have a monitor here. I have a second monitor. And I'm going to have the chat open. And I will answer you guys' questions live on the show. Give you guys a shout out. Say your name if you want me to. And I will answer your questions as part of the show. And that's fun. That's what makes this show more interactive and more personable. And it honestly makes it more valuable for you guys. If you guys can ask me a question live during the show and I can answer it for you, hopefully that helps you out. So that'll be over on WiegerTech.com/live. There will be a new chat box in there, and you guys can access that during the show. But until I see you guys next week, tech on.